Hey guys, welcome to another video. Today I'm doing a book tag because I feel like I don't do a lot of book related videos on here, which is kind of strange because I love reading. I read like all the time, almost. Not quite all the time though, like I obviously have a lot of other things that I like to do, like diamond painting and writing pen pal letters and watching TV and stuff, but yeah, if I'm not watching TV or on my phone or writing pen pal letters or diamond painting or anything, 99% chance I'm probably reading, so, and I freaking love it. So, like I said, today I'm doing a book tag. There are 20 questions, so I'm just going to jump right into it. So, first question, how many books are too many books in a series? I love reading any books. I'm willing to give any book a try. So, like, a book is a book, you know? Like, like I said, I'll read any book, whether it's in a series or not. But this one's kind of a hard question to me because I I don't want to be reading like a whole series like all year long. I want to read I don't want to spend the entire year trying to get through one series because there are so many books. But I also do love series with like quite a few books in there, especially if it's like a super like an amazing series and like I cannot put it down, that kind of thing. But like I said, I also don't want to spend like the entire year trying to get through a series because it has so many books. So I would say maybe 10 to 20, maybe 25 books are enough. I feel like when it hits 30, that's like a bit too much. Because like I feel like if there are 30 books, like I love reading like series. I don't know. Like I said, I love reading books in general and like series and stuff. But I feel like I said, I don't want to spend the entire year trying to get through one series because there are like 30 or more books in the series. Like, I don't want to spend like all of February, all of March, all of April trying to read one whole series. Like, I want to like separate, like, have a variety of books for each month, if that makes sense. So, I would say about 30 or more books are enough. Not 30 or more books. 30 or more books are a bit too many. That's what I meant to say. I feel like 20, 25 books, that might be enough for me anyway. So, next question. How do you feel about cliffhangers? I love cliffhangers. If it's in a series, and there's like a book ends in a cliffhanger, I don't want to wait like a long time for the next book to come out. So, oh man, okay, this is another one that's kind of hard to explain to me. I love cliffhangers, but if it's just in a standalone and you won't end up knowing what's going on, like I hate that. Like, why have a cliffhanger if you don't plan on finishing it? You know what I mean? So I only really like cliffhangers if they're in a series, if that makes sense. So yeah, but I feel like a lot of the cliffhangers that I've read in books, they're all part of a series. So moving on. Number 3, hardback or paperback. Paperback again. Hardbacks. I know a lot of people don't like hardbacks. Like, I'd be scrolling through TikTok and people like, I would see an occasional TikTok of someone like expressing their hate for hardbacks. But I mean, it's a book. I'm gonna read it anyway, and I'm gonna have the time of my life doing so. But I do, if I had to pick between hard or paperback, I would probably pick paperback. Favorite book? I don't have it on me right now. It's somewhere in a box out there or something like that. I don't know. Because I have so many books, like I don't even know where half of them are. But it's called Little Mercies by Heather Gudenkoff. It is so good. It's about I'm going to try my best to explain what it's about, because again, I don't have it with me right now. But it's about a child and youth worker. I can't remember her name. But it's kind of like a double, I don't know what you'd call it, but there's like 2 point of views. So it has, I know the little girl's name that's one of the point of views is named Jenny. So it has a point of view of the mother, the child and youth worker, and another point of view is from Jenny's point of view. So one chapter will be from the mom's point of view, and the next chapter will be from Jenny's point of view, and so on. It will like alternate kind of thing. But anyway, so the mother, spoilers if you haven't read the book, but it's about like I said, a child and youth worker, and she's a mom. I can't remember how many kids she has. I think it's 3 kids she has, but her youngest is only an infant, like a really small, like, baby. And it's a hot summer day, and she's driving to work, I think, daycare or work, one of it, to drop her daughter off at daycare before she goes to work. I think that's what was going on, and she saw, like, this commotion outside of a house near her, and so she left her daughter in the car and forgot all about her. And while she was dealing with whatever commotion was at the house near her, she heard another commotion out by her car. And turns out she left her daughter in the scalding hot car. And yeah, I'm just going to leave it at that. And if you want to find out what happens, go ahead and read it for yourself. Because, again, I can't really sit here and talk about the entire book in its entirety. Because, again, I don't have it on me right now. So some of the stuff I don't really remember. But I am definitely going to reread it at some point. But yeah, that book, my favorite book of all time. I recommend, even if you're not a strong reader and you don't really love reading that much, still I would recommend you read it. I'm not going to force you, but yeah, I strongly, like, highly suggest this book. It's amazing. Least favorite book. It's probably I think it is the most recent book I've read. It is. Marry Me at Christmas by Susan Mallory. It was good. If you guys want to see my full review, when I review books on Goodreads, I don't usually make my reviews super long, because I've saw, like, reviews on Goodreads and they're, like, so long that it takes me, like, a half an hour to 45 minutes just to get through it. But me, I don't really make my reviews on Goodreads and Instagram, because I do reviews on my book account on Instagram as well. But I don't really make my reviews on books super long. But yeah, my review for Meet Me at Christmas by Susan Mallory. If you guys want to see what I thought about the book and what my rating was, which was I think a 2.5 stars. That's on my Goodreads now. You can check it out if you want. Love triangle, yes or no? Yes. The most recent book you just couldn't finish. I don't DNF books. Like, some books, like if there's a book, like, if I start a book, I plan on finishing it. I won't start a book if I don't plan on finishing it. Right? So, as of now, I have never DNF'd a book, and I do not plan on it, because, like, I've seen people, like, talk about it on Facebook and stuff, and, like, Instagram and Twitter, and Twitter too, yeah. But mostly Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, they'd be like, I couldn't finish it. And then there are people in the comments being like, it sucks at the beginning, but if you keep reading it, you will not regret it. It gets better. So I feel like I don't want to DNF books, because, yeah, it might suck at the beginning, but maybe if I keep reading, it'll get so much better, and I would actually love it at the end. So far, I have never DNF'd the book, and again, I don't plan on it. A book you're currently reading. 1 second. So this is a book I'm reading now. I just started it yesterday. It is Midnight Shadows by Nora Roberts. Like I said, I just started it, like, last night, and I'm already on page 58. So far it's good. This is one of the books that have, like, different stories in one book. So this one has, like, 2 stories in one book. It's called Night Shield and Hidden Star. I'm currently reading Night Shield, and so far it's amazing. I'm loving it. Definitely not my favorite book right now. Little Mercies beats, like, any book I've ever read in my life. But yeah, this is good. I'm loving this so far. So, but yeah, like I said, I'm loving it so far, and I can't wait to see what happens throughout the rest of this book. So that's the book I'm currently reading. Again, I'm loving it so far. Last book you recommended to someone. I already talked about this book, like, just a few minutes ago. Little Mercies by Heather Goodenkoff. I literally, like, if someone were to ask me, like, every time someone asks me, like, what book do you highly recommend, that's always my answer. Because that will, like I said, literally always be my favorite book of all time. Oldest book you've read. I don't really know. I'm gonna have to check my Goodreads for that because I have no idea. Okay. Okay, so I found the oldest book I've ever read, and it was Hide and Seek by James Patterson. Again, I've already read it, so my review is up on my Goodreads. Or did I not? Okay, never mind. I didn't do a review, but I have rated it. Because I usually, well, before, like last year, I didn't really make many reviews. I just rated it, and that was it. I just left it. But now, like, I write down notes of how I felt during pieces of each book that I read, and then at the end of it, I make reviews and post them on my Goodreads and Instagram. But yeah, that book came out February 3rd, 1997, and I actually loved it. I rated it 4 out of 5 stars. So, next question. Newest book I've read. I think that might be a little bit easier. I think I already know what it is, too. I'm going to have to check, though, but I do, like, I have a feeling I know what it is already. Yeah, that's it. That is it. The newest book I've read was The 12 Topsy-Turvy Very Messy Days of Christmas by James Patterson and Ted Safran. That came out October 3rd, 2022. And I loved it. I rated it 4 out of 5 stars, and my review is up on there. So, next question. Favorite author? Of course, James Patterson. I talk about him a lot on my TikTok, I think. But yeah, literally, I read a James Patterson book like once or twice, maybe 3 times a month. And I love his writing. I love his books so much. So, but I also have other favorites too. Like I love Colleen Hoover and I love Frederick Bachman. I've only read like one of his books, but I loved it. And the only book I have read by him, like I said, I loved it. It was Us Against You. It's the second book in the Beartown series, but I do have The Winners, which is the third and final book. I'm just still trying to get the first book in the series, which is of course called Beartown. So when I get that, I will read all 3 books in the entire series. So, but yeah, like I said, I've only read one book by him, and I freaking loved it. Buying books or borrowing books? I like buying books more because borrowing books, like if you love it so much, you wouldn't really want to give it back to that person. But buying books, like you could buy it and keep it or give it away if you didn't like it. So, but yeah, boring books you could just read it and give it back. But buying books, like if you don't want to give it away, like you love it too much to give it away, and you might reread it in the future, you could just keep it to yourself. So I would say buying books. A book you dislike that everyone else seems to love. I have no idea because every book that I feel like everyone loves, I love. And there are also a lot of books that a lot of people seem to dislike, but I absolutely love. Like Layla. I've heard some pretty not so good things about the book from people on TikTok and stuff. But I loved it. I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars. So I don't really know how to answer that one because I feel like even books that I love, some people also dislike. So I think I'm gonna skip that one, but anyway, moving on. Bookmarks or dog ears? I don't even know what dog ears are, honestly, so I'm just gonna go with bookmarks. A book you can always reread. I don't think I've ever reread a book, but if I had to pick a book that I would probably reread in the future, shocker, Little Mercies by Heather Gudenkoff. Can you read while listening to music? No, I can't. I don't really like reading with a lot of like background noise. Like I want to be, because I feel like if there's a lot of background noise, like I get like distracted really easily, and I don't really know what parts. Like if I'm reading with a lot of background noise behind me, like I would like get distracted easily. Like I'd be looking around like the room and all this stuff, and I would sometimes lose my place in the book that I'm reading. So, but yeah, I never read while listening to music. If I want to listen to music and read, I'm going to do it separately at different times. So, next question, one POV or multiple POVs? I'm going to go with one POV because I do like some books with multiple POVs, but I've read some books that have like multiple POVs, and I just got super confused during like what POV am I on, like what chapter am I on, like that kind of thing, like what's going on. So I'm going to go with one POV because yes, like I said, I've read a few books that have like multiple POVs that I absolutely loved. But again, there are also a lot of books that I've read that have like multiple POVs that I just got super confused, like what's going on. Do you read a book in one sitting or over multiple days? Multiple days. When I was younger, I read a Geronimo Stilton book in one sitting. I don't know how old I was, like 8 or something like that. But yeah, I can't really sit down and read a book in one sitting. I have to do it over multiple days. The longest it ever took me to read a book was almost a month, like one day short of a month or something like that, a couple days short of a month. And that was actually in December and January. I finished the Chicken Soup for the Soul Christmas edition, The Joy of Christmas, I think it's called, and I finished that in the middle of January of this year, 2023. Yeah, that took like a nice month for me to read it, I think. I started it in the middle of December, and I didn't finish it until the middle of January. But yeah, plus it was Christmas, so like Christmas, like I tend to spend more time with my family during Christmas because like Christmas, that's like every year for Christmas, I always spend time with family. I don't really do anything else besides spend time with family and friends during Christmas. So, because to me, Christmas is like one of the most magical times of the year, and you want to spend that with the people you love. You know what I mean? So, like, yeah, I have read a few times during Christmas, but I mostly spent time with family, so, which I loved, so. But yeah, anyway, moving on. Who do you tag? Literally anyone that wants to do this. I found this online, so if you want to do this, tag, go for it. That's what I gotta say. So, that is it for today's video. If you guys enjoyed it, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you'd like to see more content from me. And next week, I will be doing my Elimination Chamber predictions. So that will either be next Friday or next Saturday before the show, because that's next Saturday. So, yeah, bye guys.